Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to F1 2017 and welcome to the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. Let's get the race started. I'll tell you what's going on. So, I did the practice programs and first time ever I got all purple. Loving it. And I think it could be, hey, who's that guy way back there? Yeah, that's me. That's me. First time ever I got all purple. I think it could be because I know the A1 ring, the Red Bull ring. I know it really well, and I really like it. Something about the track, it's compact. You know, it's up in the mountains. There always seems to be something going on. I guess between, well, up that, it's not really the front straight, but up the hill toward the hairpin. I feel like it's the only part of the track where you can really spread out a little bit, and the rest of it is just, there's always something about to happen. So we just started in P20, we're up to P19 right now. And I did the development programs, and I got all purple, first time ever. Super, super excited about that. And I think it's because I do know the track. And everything was going great, and we went to qualifying, and my initial time was like right up there with everybody, and it started raining, and sorry, I take that back. It was raining before Q1, and I put my time up on blues, on full wets, and it was a decent time, and you know, everybody's time was sort of under mine, and then as I watched, my time dropped lower and lower and lower, and I was coming off time acceleration to go out and put in another couple laps, and I couldn't get it. I ended up P18 after Q1, so I wasn't going to Q2. So I used a little strategy, and I was thinking about doing this anyway. I took one of each for as far as engine and power unit and turbo. I took one of each, and I also took a new transmission. I didn't use them, but I took them because I was going to be in P18 anyway. Starting in P18, I may as well start in P20, and I did. But we did really, really well. I think we're up to probably about 17th position right now, 16th maybe. Looks like somebody already dropped out. And I feel like I settled into a rhythm. By the way, if you want to skip ahead to the end, you know you're always welcome to do that. You're never going to hurt my feelings if you don't want to watch the whole race. But I settled into a rhythm, and I feel like, and it could just be because of this track, but I feel like for one of the first times ever in F1 2017, I really felt comfortable. I didn't feel gripped. I didn't feel like I was fighting the car. I didn't feel like I was always on the edge of like losing control. I felt really planted, really solid, and just really comfortable making racing moves. Right? A little bit wide, but you see what I'm saying? You know, down the inside, not a dive bomb, just down the inside, and a little bit of late braking, and pull it through the apex, and off you go. Bob literally is my uncle. I have an Uncle Bob, but so it goes. Anyway, yeah, doing really, really good, and enjoying the race. You know, last week at Baku, I have to say I was not enjoying that a whole lot. It just wasn't fun for me. I felt like I was fighting the car through every turn. I was really gripped. Tough to stay focused, tough to stay composed. And here, it's completely different. I was having a blast. Really, really enjoy this track. One of my favorites. So I think we're about to pass our teammate. Trying not to do the Red Bull thing and take us both out. So we get past. Yeah, we get past Massa. Yeah. And then down, he wants it back. You can't have it. Yeah, man, really digging it. And DRS is on, and we're starting to make some moves there, and that looks like it's probably Hulkenberg up in front of us, one of the Renaults, and just chewing through them. And we get up to, we'll hop in car in a minute. In fact, at the end of this lap, we'll hop in car and see how we're doing. But it's I think this is one of the best races I've ever had, and it's coming on the heels of, earlier today, I recorded a MotoGP race that was also one of the best that I've had. I didn't win that one. And it looks like, if I'm reading over my own shoulder there, it looks like we just passed into P11. Got a little hot there. But yeah, just getting it gathered up. Now we started on a different strategy because we were starting from the back. Had to be one stop, and we started on soft, going to super soft on lap 22, either 21 or 22, and I pushed it to 22. And I also took a ton of fuel. I had in the settings, it puts you on 36 laps, but if I clicked it down even I believe 1 liter, I got a red warning. So I had to bump up. Just period, I had to bump up. But instead of going, just a couple of clicks, I actually bumped up to 38 3/4 laps. So 2.5, almost 2 3/4 laps over what we needed. Oh, one of the Toro Rossos, he wants to fight. Can't have it. Yeah, way too much fuel. And what's crazy is, and I suppose I could wait a little bit to tell you this, but what's crazy is, I got a warning. You have 5 laps of fuel to go, and we had 6 laps to go. So I was in standard, I was in rich for just a couple laps, really not very much at all. I was in rich, and my Jeff came on the horn and told me, "You got to turn that down, son." So I went to standard for almost the entire race, and still on right around lap 30, my Jeff is telling me, "You've got 5 laps of fuel left," and I'm trying to, do the calculation. Well, there's 6 laps of race left. How did that work out? So I backed down to lean, and then when we had 2 laps to go, Jeff tells me you have 1 lap of fuel, and I didn't know if I was going to make it, but again, spoiler alert, my last 5 laps, I'm running 5 seconds off the pace, just constantly checking my mirrors to see if anybody's after me. Hey, let's jump in car, because I think we're about to get on these 2 Red Bulls. So we go this way. Yeah, let's go in car. And we're up to P10. And I think this is about lap 6. He don't want to give it up. He don't want to give it up. I also think part of this, I'm a lot more comfortable in traffic, and I think part of that is I've been in iRacing for about 10 days, and I've been doing open wheel, I've been doing stock car. I've done a little bit of sports car racing, but I'm on the D license, so there's really not a lot available as far as GTE, GTC, GT3 racing. It's the pasta fagioli. It's the MX-5, Mazda MX-5, and the Ford Spec Racer, I think, are the only 2 that are available to me right now. So, yeah, I'm concerned about getting tucked in behind. Dirty air, love it. I'm concerned about getting tucked right in behind and timing my braking wrong and busting my wing off. So when I should be slipstreaming, rich mix, DRS, and then pop out at the last second, late brake, and bust a move, I'm not quite there yet. I don't have that level of comfort. P8, I want to say. So racing, bumper to bumper, 180, 190 miles an hour in iRacing, I feel like has really improved me as a driver in all of my race sims. Just to, if nothing else, almost to desensitize you, so you don't get gripped, because it's we're just racing. And it's such a weird thing, because we talk about immersion, and it's weird when you find yourself gripped, and it's it doesn't make sense, because you're sitting in front of an appliance, playing a game with a toy wheel. How could you possibly be gripped? But I get gripped. I know other people that sim race get gripped. I forget to blink. My eyes start to burn because I haven't blinked for a minute and a half, and I'm really bearing down. I'm really focused on not making any mistakes, and when I do, it's very very disappointing. And there's no real fear, but there is a lot of intensity and a lot of emotion, I guess. And it's strange to think about because, like I said, it's just a game, man. It's there's nothing real. You're just looking at a monitor. You're not in a race car. And I know that on a conscious level, but I think on an emotional level, it really pulls you in. You know, it is literally immersive and it tricks your brain. So for me, I think being in iRacing and doing, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of laps 4 or 5 feet from a car that represents another person rather than AI, you know, it sucks to hit AI because you damage your car and, you know, your race might be over, or if you want to redo that race and, you know, restart or whatever. That sucks, but it's different when it's a real person. And I don't know, maybe you'll get this, maybe you won't. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. But again, it's like the reality factor, like that person who I don't know, who doesn't know me, and we'll never meet, and I'm just a name on a screen, even though iRacing does, you have to use your real name, which I don't mind. Doesn't bother me at all. But even though they don't know me and I don't know them, if I screw up and take them out or bump into them or something, it's like, oh, random internet stranger, don't hate me, you know? So there really is a great deal of focus in iRacing, and I feel like that carries over to, is this bad right here? Yep, it sure is. I could blame that on dirty air, I could blame that on, blame it on a lot of things, but unforced air. Fortunately, no contact, and that takes us back to P10, but we're still doing all right, and I want to say we're about 10 laps in. So, no problem. No worries. We're going to get this back, and we're on a one-stop strategy. So, we'll hop back out. Let's wait till we do a few more nice, clean passes here. After we get past those passes, then we'll hop out. Try to get back some of the positions we just lost. So, yeah, I really feel like iRacing has helped me a lot, and it's also knowing this track, and it's also making some improvements to the car, and it's also just having played the game. This is what, week 9, and a weekend takes maybe 2 or 3 hours. So say 3 hours. So that's 27 hours of chair time I've got in the Williams FW40. So even a Grom like me, at some point, whether you try to or not, you start learning a little bit about what you're doing. Looked like there was a little bit of surging right there. I don't know how I feel about that. All right. But got my composure back, keep my wits about me, and we're going to get these positions back. I ain't having it. I ain't having it. So, yeah, our strategy is soft to super soft on lap 22, and that's going to be our only stop. I think there was no choice. I had no choice but to go one-stop strategy, starting from P20. But I feel like there were a lot of drivers that qualified a lot better than me that were also on a one-stop strategy. So I really had my work cut out for me, and I'm really pleased with the way things worked out. I know last weekend we saw Hamilton go from, 14 to first, which is, I know he's never done it before. I guess other people have done it, but and it was just a couple weeks before, wasn't it? Ricardo started really far back and ended up, he didn't win, but he ended up well up in the pack. So it's, I mean, obviously it's different in a video game than it is in real life, and I've got the AI. It's dialed back. It's got a little spice to it, but it's dialed back. But I mean, that's the whole point of adjustable AI, is you make it difficult for you. And I saw a guy race online with the AI at 110%. Clearly I'm not there yet. But that's the whole point of adjustable AI, is you can put it where you want it so you can have a good race. And I feel like this was a great race. I had so much fun. And oh, you're pitting. Hey. It's so much more fun. This is going to sound mental, but it's so much more fun to not suck. You know, it's fun to really feel the car settle in and get planted and just be able to turn, you know, lap after lap after lap within a tenth. And have a good day. Feel like you're having some fun. So what are we up to? P8, I think. We had 2 drivers pit. Oh, I also, at one point, it's going to be the next couple laps. Oh, wait. I don't want to ruin it for you. I do want to have a sip of my coffee, though. So I'll be right back. Beautiful. I'm back. What happened while I was away? Looks like somebody pitted. We're up to P7. Fantastic. So that hairpin, I don't know, man. I was, first half of the race, I was in first through there. But I realized I can get through it in second without losing any time off the lap. Saves me a shift. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I think Formula One cars are so specific, you know, and they're so almost tailor-built per weekend, per track, that you would use first for the slowest turn on the track. And maybe at a place like Monaco, but maybe not. First might just be for getting out of the pit, and then you never touch it again till your next pit stop or till the end of the race. So second worked fine. But I didn't find that out till probably about halfway through the race. And there's a reason that I found it out, which I'll tell you about momentarily when we get to it. When we're out on time. Okay, we're doing good. It's also fascinating to me that this is the shortest lap. Is it the shortest lap by time? Yeah, shortest lap by time on the Formula One calendar. But there's actually quite a bit going on in a lap. And I realize, you know, Monaco is one of the other really short laps, and there's obviously a lot going on in Monaco. Oh, dirty air. There's obviously a lot going on in Monaco as well, but I think what I mean is this track just looks like a regular road course. A little bit tight, you know, but for the most part just a regular road course. And then you realize like how compact it is and how many things are going on in a lap, and it just flies by. Come on, Force India. I think we're P6. P5, P6. We're getting up there. We're gonna make the move. Yeah, see, I just get so gripped about being tucked in there. Because I feel like some of the braking is not where you think it should be. And that's, you know, I get a little bit jealous when I see these F1 2017 YouTubers, and they're perfectly integrated into the train, into the snake. And I can't do that. I seem to get hit from behind, or I seem to bump the car in front of me. It's like I can't get the timing for the braking exactly the same as the AI. And I imagine that is a real break point, you know, that they didn't just pick it randomly, that is where the real drivers brake per turn, per track on the calendar. And that's where you should brake too, because that's the best place to brake. You know, and I realize it changes a little bit, obviously, if it's raining or, you know, new tires, old tires, whatever. I get that it's going to be slightly different, but you see what I'm saying, that if you brake exactly where you're supposed to in real life, and that's where the AI is set to brake as well, then you can be part of the train. But I feel like I don't have that timing down yet. And I may, next year when we come through here, I may try to hold fourth through turn one. I think, I don't know though, man. I don't know. I mean, I would have to go through it a lot faster. And what's funny on my splits is, like right here on my split, I'll be 0.5 seconds behind. And by here, I'm like 0.5 seconds above. So I don't know how it is that I'm coming out of the hairpin so aggressively that I'm able to make up like a full second. But I go into it very, very slow, like way behind on time. And then I come out, well, not necessarily come out of it, but within, I don't know, probably 400 or 500 meters, I'm well up on time. So I think whatever line I'm taking through the hairpin is, I don't know if it's really, really good or really, really bad, but it's definitely not, the clock says it's not how other people do it. Yeah. Digging this track. P4 we're up to. Yeah. I mean, maybe fourth through there. But like I said, I would just need to, I need to be going so fast. And my sector 1 time until right about here is not bad. So it's not like I'm really slow through turn 1 and then up the hill. I think my time from start finish to a couple hundred meters out from the hairpin, my sector 1 time is fine. It's just through the hairpin where it totally drops off, but then I pick it up and more. So feeling pretty good about that. And you know, this car smoking a little bit. Maybe, yeah, sure is. God, I love this game. Oh, the detail. And I have to say, when I was driving, I did not even notice that. I was so focused on the track. Putting down some oil there, son. Nope. He stays out. Right. So last week, after, where were we last week? Baku. Actually, the week before Baku, I had put in for, sorry, concentrating on the race that I'm concentrating on watching the replay of the race that I already raced. The week before Baku, I made some improvements to the car, and they were going to take 2 weeks. Probably Kimi Räikkönen, maybe. I made some improvements to the car. They were going to take 2 weeks to come in, and then before Baku, my Jeff told me they failed QC, so you don't get them. You got to pay another 500 points to get them. Oh, Jeff. So after I did the qualifying programs, the practice programs, the development programs, after I did those, I had enough points to like order that part again. So that'll be in next week, even though it's a 2-week development, because it was done once and failed. The second time around, it only takes a week. And I imagine it's pretty much guaranteed when you reorder it. I mean, I can't imagine that they would tell you a second time that it failed QC. That's messed up. I would have to like, I'd need a new Jeff at that point. So, so that'll be on the car next week, and that'll be helping out. Yeah, I think we're about halfway through, and I just came through the hairpin in second. And I think from here on out, I stay in second through there. Let's hop out of the car again. Yeah. Digging it. I swear I see a little bit of surging sometimes in the replay. I've never seen it that I can remember. I've never seen it in a race, like while I was driving, but I swear sometimes I see a little, And I believe it's one of the Toro Rossos. We just bumped him and took minor damage to the front wing. There was a yellow. Yep, I think those were my wing parts flying down the track. Yeah. There was a yellow, but see, like now he's picked it up. And again, that's a real racing thing. Like if somebody's having problems and they slow down, that doesn't mean they're done. It just means they're going slow. They can sort out their problem and take off again. So I feel like he was slowing down, and then he got back up to pace, and I tucked in, and then he slowed down again. And I mean, you could say that's on me because there was a local yellow, and it just didn't occur to me to come off my line to try to go around, because from my perspective, I thought they were at a race pace. So it's about lap 18, and we bumped for minor damage to the front wing. Story of my life. Right. So I have backed off a little bit, and we're, what did we say, P4? And I think I get a couple more. I don't think I ever get to P1. I think the highest I get is P2. And I'm behind, maybe Bottas, maybe Vettel. But they're on ultra soft already. I believe they're on a 3-stop strategy. And I know at one point early in the race, they were 25 seconds in front of me. So it's entirely possible that they could have pitted and got in and out without losing a position to me. So, and they are on a faster tire. So I want to say I never quite get up to first, but I think I get to like second on my softs. And these are just starting to go away. They're not blistered yet. They're probably at 60 or 70%. I'm feeling a lot better about my line. Like right through there, I could have held it, and carried a little bit more speed through to the outside. But turn 6, I'm feeling pretty good about that. 7, definitely. And then right into 8, or the S's, depending on how you want to say it. And then carrying plenty of speed out of here. 9 and 10, I could be further to the outside. Or maybe not, if I'm going in the pit. I should probably be further to the right. Right, so we get our ultra soft, super soft. We get our super soft, and off we go. And I should have told my Jeff to fix the wing. In hindsight, it would have added 20 seconds. But, and we're TV coverage, so we can't see it. But if we were in car, we could. I've lost a gear. I've lost 4th gear. So I'm going straight from 3rd to 5th, and that is, it's not hugely problematic because we still have 2nd for the hairpin, and that's kind of, not important, but I mean, I couldn't see coming through there in 3rd, and I didn't need 1st anymore, so donk. So yeah, at this point, still feeling pretty optimistic. We got about 15 laps to go, and I'm really feeling like this could be, hopefully, podium. And I think, no, that's not. Yeah, we're P6. So, and there goes one of the silver arrows, so that's going to put us in P5. You know what's crazy is we lose the gear, and then later we get it back. It's the craziest thing. We don't have it for maybe 6 or 7 laps. It goes away, and then it comes back. And that's happened twice now. It happened in Spain as well. And as detailed as this game is, I have to assume that that's a thing that happens in real life. But it's still kind of crazy that your engineers can change something remotely and have it impact the mechanical function of the car as it's driving. That's awesome. It's amazing to me. These cars are so high tech. Love it. So what did we say? P4 or P5? Other way. P5. I'm really looking forward to this game, the sequel to this game, or the next chapter of it, F1 2018, which is coming out in just a few weeks. But I don't know. I mean, it's a new game, so I'll start F1 2018 as soon as it comes out, and we'll start in Australia. First race of the season, and I'm gonna do one per week. I'm gonna keep it to Formula One Friday, like we do. And I know there are other YouTubers that do a race. Some of them do a race per day. You know, just get through the season super fast. And I don't want to do that. It's not my style. And also, I have too many other sims that I'm recording right now. I wouldn't have time to do it anyway. But I'll do, as soon as it comes out, I'll record Australia probably that day and get started on making a season. You know, having a whole season of F1 2018. So, still doing good. Still, what, P4, P5? I always go the wrong way. P5. And the way that I'm saying that, you know, right? You know. And that's that slow Toro Rosso. I'm not sure why he stayed out. Or I'm not sure why they let him stay out. I would have thought there'd be a black flag. Yeah, man. Feeling like this is probably the track that I'm the most familiar with, and I think it's several things coming together. I think it's some improvements to the car, I think it's being more familiar with the game, and I think it's a track that I know really well and also really like. I think that it all just sort of came together. Man, I look back at my race in Australia when I first got this game, when I had been simming it for like just a few weeks, and it's, just a few days, and it's like, oh, terrible. But so it goes. So I'm also curious. Well, we'll wait till we get to the end, and then I'll lay it on you. And I don't think we've had. Yeah, I don't think we've had. Still P5. Yeah, and it's looking like we're 0.8 over. Yeah, 1 second over our best lap time. So the car is still intact. And again, a little bit of foreshadowing. You know, something bad's about to happen. But so it goes. I mean, I don't want to make excuses and say, oh, you know, it's my first season, or oh, it's this, or oh, it's that, or whatever. But I'm relatively new to this game, and I guess that is a reason I'm looking forward to F1 2018, is to sort of have an excuse to start over and go back to Australia and start the entire season over, knowing what I know now and how much, hopefully, better I can be going through these same races again. Plus, it's going to be a newer game, and that's always awesome. Just to see what they've improved and what's different and what's better this year. And who's this? Who is this? Is it my teammate? Maybe? No. Force India? It's looking pretty pink from here. Yeah, I want to say Force India. Yeah, it is. Okay. God, it's just such a fun run up the hill to the hairpin. Donk. Total unforced error. And wing is lightly damaged, they say. Let's see. I haven't seen it from I was in car when it happened, but I haven't seen it from any other cameras. So I'm curious. Oh God. So it looks like everything is broken off the right side. The cascade. and the winglet, and it looks like I still have a cascade and a winglet on the left. Oh, well, it was too late to pit. Immediately, my Jeff came on the horn and said, "I got a new strategy for you." And in hindsight, I should have pitted right here. I would have lost probably 30 seconds, but between the broken car and being low on fuel, and obviously, I mean, I wouldn't have got fuel when I came in, but those laps that I was running, with the broken wing, I was 4 or 5 or 6 seconds off the pace, and there was probably 7 or 8 of them. So the net savings of not coming in was probably negative, and I should have come in as soon as I did that and just, taken my medicine. But he said it was minor damage, and the car it was still holding together. I could feel the difference, but it was holding together. So, and we're fairly close to the end here. So we are still P5. So my goal at this point, I did not have Rich Mix. Every time I went to Rich Mix, he said go to fuel map 2. So I didn't have Rich Mix for the straights, and I had a busted car, and I wasn't close enough to anybody to get DRS. So I'm really not struggling, but I'm really focused right now to try to finish this race in P5 and hold off what looks like both Red Bulls behind me. So Verstappen and Ricciardo, I'm not sure what order they're in, but my goal is just to hold them off till the end of the race, which is another probably 6 or 7 laps. And most likely not going to happen. I mean, I'm saying to myself at this point, sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm saying to myself at this point as I'm driving, most likely not going to be able to hold off 2 Red Bulls for that many laps with a broken car. And something I've wondered about, and I guess, I mean, mathematically or aerodynamically or whatever, when you do break your car like that, when you do break your wing, do you have any additional, do you pick up any time on the long straights from having less airfoil, less wind resistance? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I was going wide before on turns. I'm really going wide now. And that's also my bogey. I tend to, call it understeer, I guess. It just feels like the car drifting wide constantly. Like I can't paint the apexes consistently. Sort of. But not as tight as I want. So I guess that is technically understeer. And that's a thing for me. I would like to be in there a little harder in on those apexes. I mean, it's not terrible. And this track, I mean, I feel like I was really getting around better on this track than I was on, I guess, any track that we've been on this year. Maybe Canada. Canada, I was really having a good time and really getting around Canada okay, but this one is, I just feel like, so far, this is the best track that I've been on. So far, this is my favorite track. Oh, Red Bull. Can't we just get along? Does it have to be like this? And the thing is, I feel like I could have held off the Red Bull because they're really not making moves on me. They're sort of hanging back there, and I really, from there, I mean, I don't even think they're in DRS. That's not DRS range. So I feel like this could have been okay. I feel like this could have been all right. And again, a little bit of foreshadowing there. Sorry, had to send one more text. Still working. It's 10 o'clock at night, but I'm still working. Alright. That's DRS range. For sure. But again, got that nice Mercedes motor, not making up any time on the long uphill. I'm definitely braking, for the turns, but I have to. The front end is not biting, but then like right there, well, coming out of the hairpin, like I was saying earlier, I always had great great acceleration out of there. So I feel like that acceleration out of the hairpin is what's keeping me out of DRS, which is what's keeping me alive for this lap. It's what's keeping me out of trouble. Oh God, that's trouble. So now we're in P6 and then P7. And this is Mercedes. Yeah, factory Mercedes, and now we're P8. Oh, almost worse there. Almost ripped off everything on the right side of the wing. So, yeah. And from there, really, I think I may end it here because I don't advance and I don't get past. Nothing really happens the rest of the race except I slow way, way, way down when my Jeff tells me you're about to run out of fuel. So let's go ahead and call it there. Let's get out of this and get back to here. So this is, we finished 8th. And we're 8th in the standings. So I'm going to call it right there. And, yeah, not a bad race. I definitely had a good time. And I wish I would have finished better. But I'm glad that I was able to keep it together as well as I did. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of F1 2017 from the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.